But let's talk about copycats because you teach people how to do things. I teach people, and sometimes people mistakenly, instead of coming up with their own thing, they cut and paste Marie's thing onto their WordPress site. So how do you deal with that kind of copycat stuff and because it's your intellectual property, and as creators, that's all we have.
Yeah,
That's it.
the copycat thing happens in, I think, almost every domain. With
Mm,
jewelry designers, an independent jewelry designer will come out with something, and then there's kind of another company. Again, I don't want to tag on Urban
yeah,
Outfitters. I just read one article about that. But in
yeah.
terms of me, here's what we do. First of all, I do my best to communicate, and you know this because you've been through B school. I always say, look, I'm showing you examples. You have you and you. You need to do you. Don't do me. I'm showing you a framework, but you've got to do your own thing. That's the only way it's going to work. And as you said, not a lot of people, for whatever reason, they feel scared. They feel insecure. They want to try and save time. There are a myriad of reasons why people do it. It kind of makes me, I'm like, are you serious? Do you not know that we all see it? So
Yeah,
I try and vocalize and lead in that respect. But honestly, we also have a legal team,
yeah.
and we will send folks. We try to be really kind and we try and be really compassionate most of the time. There are some times when some people are so blatant, like I've had our entire site, like in Europe, like word for word with all of my pictures, like
In your
me.
pictures?
Yes. I'm just like, oh my goodness. And you're just like, what are these people thinking?
Right.
So we will have our legal team contact folks and say,
Yeah,
yo, that ain't cool. You got to take that down. And
right.
so, but it's a large investment in terms of resources and time because it's pretty constant these days.
It
And I
is.
think that as a business owner, you have to not get yourself off track. You have to create some kind of system for you and your team to handle it when it happens. You have to look
Hmm.
inside and think about your values and think about the kind of language that you want to use when you reach out to someone. And that isn't really a cut and paste cookie cutter kind of thing. Because sometimes something, like I said, is blatant. The
Yeah.
example in Europe where it's my face, it's my words, it's everything. And then there's other times where you can tell that someone is heavily, heavily influenced and almost skates on this line where you're like, why'd you go and do that? But there
Yeah.
isn't really a case to tell them to take it down. And in those instances, you might want to reach out with more of an olive branch and say, hey, we've gotten some emails about this. It's pretty clear that you were inspired by us, but of course you changed it, to this degree. And here would be our recommendations. You're going to do way better if you really make it your own and
Yeah.
appeal to someone's better nature.
Yeah. It's tough. I have dealt with it quite a bit. People cut and paste my articles. It's like, and I used to try to contact people, but believe it or not, those are the jerkiest people I've ever dealt with. Like they get all mad because I won't let them cut and paste, and I'm like, okay. So I usually just file the DCMA notice myself,
Hmm.
like, but I haven't had like the whole website scanned with my pictures. It's like, I'm glad that would be crazy. I mean, that's where you're really like, really people? And wow, I did have somebody in Australia do something similar. They don't have as strict laws in other countries as we
Hmm.
do, but Google kind of dominates the whole web. So it is possible to get those things fixed if it's a total cut and paste.
Yeah, I would say it depends on like the frequency in which it's
Hmm.
happening. So like for you, Peg, if it starts happening a lot more, if you haven't done this already, to like create a little bit of a system and have someone on your team or an assistant that you can always kind of filter those things off to. At least for me in the past, they would become energy sucks. Like,
Yeah.
it would become like,
It's like 5 minutes. It's like 5 minutes for me.
good for
I
you.
just, I do the notice and it's done. Like it takes
Good
two
for you.
seconds. So yeah, I figure if they have, yeah, whatever. I just deal with it too and move on. Some people say it's a big compliment, but it's really not when it's your intellectual property. So
No, it's not. Yeah. Every time I hear that, I'm like, no, it ain't. It's a pain in the ass. I'm like,
yeah,
it's stealing. It's not.
yeah. No, it's totally not. I mean, even on YouTube, people like download people's videos and upload them to their channel.
Can I just tell you something? I was just on our YouTube channel because someone on my team said, oh, look at this beautiful comment on this video. And I went over there and is this hilarious, Peg? Next to my own video, I see a video of my set with me and Tony Robbins. And that ain't my video. I was
Right.
like, okay. But
I
it's the
know.
world that we live in.
It's technology. Don't
Yeah.
use it for evil, people. Use it only for good.
Use it for